Yes.
That's my daughter.
All right. Hello, everybody. How you doing today? All right. We got something to celebrate. All right. So I want to celebrate everyone here at first. Just say this community has really always moved me and impressed me with the ability to just stick together and keep working and keep fighting for good things. And we all came together originally because of, if I can be so bold, promise was made to this community a long time ago for this park, and then the city of New York did not keep the promise. And it was before my time, but people gathered and people organized, and I want to thank you for that, because you were right that a promise was made and it needed to be kept. And my team and I heard your voices loud and clear and respected what you were trying to build for the community for the good of all. And so we came together a few years back and we started the process of creating something great with this park. And like so many things in life, it's kind of like home contracting, where you think you've paid all the bills and everything's on time, and then it turns out there's more bills, goes on longer. This is our park equivalent of that. So I thought when we last gathered and celebrated the city's investment, we were sort of like, we did it, we're done, this is great, this is wonderful. And then in this year's budget, I heard there was more to be done. And I want you to know a lot of people at City Hall remembered everything that you all had done as a community and said, okay, it's kind of not ever something we hope for, that there's even more to be done, but it's for a good cause, it's for a great community, it's responding to the voice of the people, and we wanted to take this next step together. So the moral of the story is, thank you for speaking up. Your voices were heard again. And I want to thank everyone, the elected officials, everyone who has been a part of it. I know Assemblymember Gallagher couldn't be here, but her voice, she called frequently, obviously. The council member, the senator, everyone has been focused, and we finally got someplace together. And when all this is done, I mean, I love just thinking the sheer magnitude of this. This will be 27 acres of the very best park anywhere in New York City, with unbelievable views and just something that's going to be great for the whole community. And it reminds us, like, we can keep creating new parks in New York City. We can keep making it better. We can keep going farther. So this is a victory for you, and I want you to hear from some of the other good people who have really led the way here, with my gratitude, because this is to me kind of the way the world should be. People banding together for a common good and their government hearing them. And some of the people helped make that possible. Sitting here with me, I want you to hear first from Friends of Bushwick Inlet Park, and we are all friends now. Co-chair Catherine Thompson.
Hi, friends. Thank you, Mayor de Blasio.
I heard a hi back there. I was like, where is that voice?
This is so amazing, and it's such an honor to be standing here with you and all of the rest of you here on behalf of the Friends of Bushwick Inlet Park. As we look over this land and water, I'd like to acknowledge the indigenous Lenape, Munsee, Canarsie people who originally inhabited this territory. Thanks. And I'd like to thank and introduce my co-chair, Steve Chesler, Friends of Bushwick Inlet Park, and a couple of the other steering committee members that are here today, Scott Frazier, Dewey Thompson. These are volunteers extraordinaire, and big round of applause for them. So I am incredibly proud to be standing here before you today to represent the Friends of Bushwick Inlet Park, because we are a mighty coalition of local elected officials, organizations, Community Board 1, and hundreds, literally hundreds of residents who are passionate and proud advocates for this park. We have spent nearly 2 decades rallying support from elected officials and community members to bring life to a park that reflects the needs of our growing neighborhoods with beauty and resilience. And importantly, it represents fairness in governance, to your point, and planning and how our communities are developed. I want to recognize our elected officials who are here, Steve Levin and Senator Kavanaugh, and as Mayor de Blasio mentioned, there's many more that were active, including Congressman Carolyn Maloney and State Senator Julia Salazar, Antonio Reynoso, council member. Brooklyn Borough President Eric L. Adams was actively involved, and even Chuck Schumer, our senator. And our newly elected council member, Lincoln Ressler, has been a great advocate and fighter for to complete our park. So, and I just want to keep going and applaud our coalition members. Our strength and power comes from grassroots community support, including the Greenpoint Williamsburg Youth Soccer League, Triborough United Soccer Club, North Brooklyn Parks Alliance, Sustainable Williamsburg, North Brooklyn Chamber, North Brooklyn Neighbors, Newtown Creek Alliance, and our long-term partners for environmental justice on the south side, El Puente Academy for Peace and Justice. The support and partnership is invaluable, and when we, come together and, fight for what we need and want, we move Earth. We get parks done. So thank you, everybody. So today, as we celebrate additional funding to demolish the remaining city storage building and to construct more green space, we remember how far we've come, and so very importantly, how that would not have been possible without the dedication and support of our Mayor de Blasio. I mean, you made it happen. It's been amazing. Under Bill de Blasio's leadership, we have seen unprecedented investment in the development of Bushwick Inlet Park. The first parcel of this park was acquired in 2007, and now 14 years later, thanks to Mayor de Blasio, we are so much closer to the finish line in delivering priceless waterfront access. Your commitment and investment in Bushwick Inlet Park will have an enduring legacy for generations to come. Yes, it's true. So let's just recap quickly what exactly happened. What did he do? Right here, we can view the city storage building right here. And this was the site of great excitement when 5 years ago, Mayor Bill de Blasio made the historic decision to acquire the 11-acre parcel that completed the 27-acre Bushwick Inlet Park. And soon after that, he again made park history by investing in the design and build out of 2 more green parcels, including this one where we are today that's going to open in the spring, and another piece just down the way at Bushwick Inlet. But most recently, Mayor de Blasio made the huge commitment to the future of Bushwick Inlet Park by allotting funds to demolish the city storage building and create a lot more publicly owned green space. Just think, when this building has been torn down, in just one long, unobstructed view, we will be able to see the whole park. From the south end all the way to the north end. It's going to be incredible and a real vision. This is huge. And thank you. This will be a park for North Brooklyn and beyond. For all New Yorkers, a world-class waterfront park for all to enjoy, and it's super exciting. And we have cause for great celebration. Mayor de Blasio, Bushwick Inlet Park has a brighter future because of your work and the administration, what you've done. And so many thanks from all of us, the whole coalition and everybody from the Friends of Bushwick Inlet Park in North Brooklyn. We can't thank you enough. And welcome to the future of Bushwick Inlet Park.
Love it. Welcome.
Thank you.
You need a sweeping hand gesture. Welcome to the future. Thank you. Excellent. Well, so your elected officials have been really dogged and focused and persistent. Get me my thesaurus. I have many words to say the same thing. But I want to welcome and thank for his total focus on getting this done, Senator Brian Kavanaugh.
Well, you always have to lower the mic after the mayor speaks. It is really a great pleasure to be here. As the mayor and Catherine said, really this has been a tremendous focus of this community and really an example of how when many people come together and push for something and are persistent, we actually get it done. So it is a very exciting day. I want to join Catherine in acknowledging the many. I'm glad she listed the many components of the many friends of Bushwick Inlet Park. It is, it's a huge coalition, and of course, this is a community that has been built on both an understanding that we need additional open space, we need additional park space, and also on a very long-term ongoing effort to reclaim our open spaces from a very bad history of environmental degradation. We have enormous amounts of former industrial land, former commercial land that were developed and used in ways when communities like this did not have the opportunity to protect them from that kind of activity. So a lot of this work has been about remediation, about focusing on those issues, and about addressing them. But it is a big step and an unusual thing that we create so much new parkland simply by having the city acquire it and make it into parkland without, lots of strings, without, concessions that are supposed to pay for it, all that sort of stuff. So this is a wonderful day. I want to acknowledge, everybody who's been part of it. I particularly, and, my elected colleagues who are not here have all been mentioned, and it really has been a collective effort of all. I want to particularly acknowledge Steve Levin, who, I keep going to these events where it seems like the last time we're going to announce good news while he's still an elected official, but we keep having these surprises with another round. But really has been a tremendous city council member for so long, and particularly, very much leading a community effort on this and making sure that all of us who are not in city government and not controlling that city budget have an opportunity to weigh in. He's been a terrific leader, and I look forward to continuing to work with him for many years. I also just, and of course the mayor's leadership has been tremendous, has been said, and it predates my work in this community when I was still an assembly member just on the other side of the river, but deserves tremendous credit for sticking through and making this one of the last tremendous things, as has been noted, really will be part of a great legacy. I also noticed Christina Napolitarski, our district leader, is here. Hello, nice to see you. And I do want to acknowledge the Parks Department. Marty Marr's here, and they really have, helped to, conceptualize this, spearhead it, and, to take on the responsibility of running large swaths of new parkland with a limited budget is a terrific thing. So, again, thank you to Marty and to everybody at the Parks Department. And without further ado, thank you all. Again, I look forward, as has been noted, we'll have a changing of the guard in our elected officials. We look forward to continuing to stay focused on until the real promise and the vision of this park is realized across the entire swath of it. Thank you so much.
So, Marty Marr has been leading the Parks Department for Brooklyn, and has just created so many wonderful things, always working with communities. So I'd like a kind of thunderous applause to thank him and the Parks Department. See, they can do thunderous, Marty. That's certainly qualified. Steve Levin today is volunteering to provide childcare for Steve Levin's children while also speaking at an event. I admire his dexterity. This is the last time he and I will do an event together, but I want to say it has been really a joy working with you. This is one of the voices of conscience in our city council, and we've done so much together, but I always like to hearken back to when we were both starting out and we opposed the closure of Long Island College Hospital, and we went and did a civil disobedience and got arrested for it, and we were cellmates. And so yeah, we're soulmates, but we were cellmates. So, but thank you for everything you've done. This is a day you should feel really good about. Councilmember Steve Levitt.
Thank you, Albie. So, Mayor, I want to thank you. Stand here. This is very gratifying to be here. This is my last week in office, and the original commitment to build this park was not made by Mayor de Blasio. It was made by Mayor Bloomberg in 2005, and anybody can make a commitment to do something. It's like there's a Seinfeld where he says anybody could take the reservation, but you have to hold the reservation, you have to keep the reservation. Anybody can make a commitment to build a 27-acre park, but actually doing the thing of putting the money into the budget, of doing the capital planning, of making the priorities, of keeping the commitments, that's the hard work. That's the hard work. And so for the last 8 years, Mayor Bill de Blasio and his team have made this a priority. And it's not easy because, as the mayor mentioned, the costs have there's been a little bit of a cost overrun. And frankly, when we had the first cost overrun, this was before he was mayor, with the acquisition of the parcel on the other side of city storage, the Bloomberg administration kind of gave up on it. They said, this is a lot more expensive than we thought. So, see ya. That was basically the attitude. And so, what this administration did, and I want to acknowledge one person in particular, Peter Wertheim, who passed away several years ago, tragically at a far too young. But Peter was the chief of staff for the deputy mayor at the time, Deputy Mayor Alicia Glenn, and I would speak to Peter 2-3 times a day for a year. And he put a lot of time and effort into this and saw the reason for it. And the reason being that in order to have a functional government and a functional city, we have to be able to have trust that when a commitment is made, that commitment is going to be kept. That when one administration makes a commitment, the next administration will follow through. And that is a foundational element to what makes a functional city, and this mayor came through on that. I mean, it's an investment in the idea of public works. This is not a public-private partnership. This is a public park built by the city, run by the city, and I think that Mayor de Blasio has gotten that. And so, in my book, this is a major, major accomplishment. And it has solidified and shored up the foundation of what our city is all about. And the fact that it's happened in our community, we're all the more grateful for it. Because our families and our future families in this neighborhood, future generations, as well as families around the city, will see the benefit of that. And this is a permanent benefit on the infrastructure of our city. Few other people I want to acknowledge. Our former Assemblyman, Joe Lenthal, who did a lot of great work to get this done. Our current Assembly member, Emily Gallagher, who, as an advocate, was working on this many years ago before becoming an Assembly member. Our great Senator, Brian Kavanaugh. Our neighboring Senator, Julia Salazar. Carolyn Maloney, who really has done everything she could on a federal level to make this happen. Nydia Velasquez, our neighboring Congress member. Our borough president and soon-to-be mayor, Eric Adams. And our wonderful Brooklyn Parks Commissioner, Marty Marr, and his entire team, Mary and Nick, everyone who's been so involved in this over the years. Lastly, I want to thank all of you as a community. You have been steadfast in making sure that we don't forget what the commitments are and what the promises that were made to this community 15 years ago, 16 years ago at this point. But that we don't forget, and that we don't allow our government to break its promise to its people. And so this is very gratifying for me to be here today in my last week in office. Oh, Davey as well. I just want to thank Davey. Thank you. And yeah, thank you, everybody. It's great to see you. And probably next time I run into you on the street, stop me, say hi, and I'll tell you to talk to Lincoln about anything of any consequence. But again, Mayor, thank you. It's been wonderful.
Thank you, brother. It's been good. Good run. We're going to have everyone from here, the three of you, come up. We have a presentation for you. For your persistence, your noble values, and your love of the community, may I present to you $75 million for Bushwick Inlet Park. Come forward. Come forward. Come on, Catherine. Come on up. There you go. Like, you grab that check quickly.
This is amazing. $75 million.
It's real. $75 million. It's so you can have a park. All right. There you go. Congratulations, everybody. You get to keep it.